Hello, good evening, and a warm welcome to a cold night in San Juan, Argentina. A sold-out Bicentenario stadium, all set for Argentina's final send-off before the Copa America. It is an Argentina side in transition under coach Lionel Scaloni, and despite Leo Messi's best attempts to taper expectations, the pressure will be on the two-time World Cup winners as they head to Brazil in a week's time. Alongside Gary Bailey, I'm Andres Cordero. A pleasure to have you all with us for this international friendly, the first ever meeting between Argentina and Nicaragua. And Gary, there's no hiding, there's no nice way to say there is a big difference between these two national teams. So what is Scaloni potentially looking at with this Argentina side 7 days before the start of the Copa America?
You're right, there's a massive gap. Nicaragua ranked 129th in FIFA, and of course Argentina up in the top 10, and one of the favorites for the Gold Cup behind Brazil. So what is he looking for? I think with all these sort of matches before you enter a big competition, Scaloni will be looking for getting this team, which is either going to be the starting 11 against Colombia or very, very close. He wants them to start molding together, understanding each other, getting set-piece positions correct, being able to feel where the players are on your left or right-hand shoulder. It's just really a good understanding, and probably they all won't play much past the 45th or 60th minute, but that's all he wants. Just get the vibe right between you all, get ready for the big tournament that starts in just over a week's time. And I guess for Nicaragua, to be nice as possible, just keep the score down. You don't want to get hammered. It's a wonderful evening for them, and they don't want to leave this ground embarrassed.
In Nicaragua, it's been billed in that baseball-loving nation that has fallen in love with the World's Game as a historic match, the first ever meeting against the two-time World Cup winners, Argentina. And Gary, we saw the ground crew walking around this pitch moments ago, covering up a few divots. Let's say it's not in ideal condition, but apparently good enough to host Leo Messi in Argentina just days before the Copa America.
It should be good, but you're right. We picked up a little sort of spout sticking out, and I'm thinking, wow, if Lionel Messi gets his toe caught in that, do we have the horror of him getting injured just days before the big tournament? I certainly hope not. But look, a good crowd there, nice vibe, a little bit chilly. But I think to sum it up, Henry Duarte, the coach of Nicaragua, said, I want my players to be professional. I want them to leave the selfies till after the game, because it is the biggest day in their history for every one of these players. They're going to be looking at Messi and just wanting to applaud him, but they can't. They have to be professional and leave all that stuff until the final whistle's blown.
It is a cool night in San Juan. Not quite winter yet, still a few weeks away, but winter is coming, and it is 56 degrees under this San Juan sky. In Argentina, playing in front of a capacity crowd. The stadium sits just over 25,000, and it has been totally sold out for this contest. It's also a good opportunity for Henry Duarte's Nicaragua as they prepare for just their third appearance in the Gold Cup. Two of those three will be under this manager, Henry Duarte, one of the longest tenured coaches in all of CONCACAF. He's been at the helm since 2014. He led Nicaragua to that 2017 Gold Cup group stage campaign when they beat Haiti in the playoff to qualify, now back for a second consecutive edition. Their Gold Cup record, not exactly stellar. 6 games, 6 defeats, 1 goal scored.
Well, I can only go upwards from there, and we wish them all the best. Their group is Haiti, Costa Rica, which is going to be a tough match, in Bermuda. So hopefully this gives them a sense of raising their level, trying to at least compete with the likes of mighty Argentina and take that into the Gold Cup, because it is a wonderful opportunity for them to improve. And for Argentina, an opportunity perhaps for Messi to get this trophy that we've discussed so many times, Dre, in our locker room. And, you know, is he the greatest of all time? If he doesn't win a trophy, is it his fault that they haven't won a trophy, that they've made so many finals and not done the job? And I would just love to see him pick up that trophy before he retires, and maybe this Copa America is the one for him, and not just him, but Di Maria, Agüero, and 1 or 2 others.
Well, Messi himself seemed to try and calm down the expectations after the team made it to 3 consecutive continental competition finals, the Copa America, Centenario, and the World Cup in Brazil 2014, falling in each of those. Both of the Copa America cases to Chile, they seem to be trying to calm things down, and there is a younger look to some of the starters that we expect to see in Brazil in about 7 days' time. And we'll see whether maybe that lowered expectation, if successful, could actually work to Argentina's benefit.
Well, this is a discussion that I've had. You talk about the finals, they haven't won Argentina. And I've bumped heads with a lot of Argentina fans because most countries would love to even reach one final, never mind literally 4 on the trot. Now, yes, they've lost them and maybe on penalties, but I'm actually applauding Argentina for saying what a run of great results up until the last World Cup. Of course, we don't include that. Yes, unlucky in the finals, but I think they've done brilliant to get to the finals.
I think the difference is most countries have not won 2 World Cups and 14 Copa Americas. The expectations are through the roof, especially when you have an all-time great like Lionel Messi. So just waiting for the 2 sets of starters to make their way out onto the pitch, and we'll hear the national anthems and get you the starting 11s for both Lionel Scaloni's Argentina and Henry Duarte's Nicaragua. But just to give you an idea of why Nicaragua would be up against a team like Argentina as close as they are to the Gold Cup kicking off, they're going to open up their Gold Cup group stage campaign in Group B. You mentioned the teams that were in it: Costa Rica, Haiti, and Bermuda. But they open against Costa Rica, and it won't be in the U.S. where most of the competition is taking place. It'll be in San Jose, Costa Rica. It's a home match for the Ticos, and with or without Keylor Navas, and we know it will be without, Costa Rica will be a handful for this Nicaragua side.
They certainly will, but they'll be used to being under pressure after this match, because it's going to be a tough one. I mean, there's no question that everyone expects Argentina to win and win comfortably. And that again in itself is pressure for Argentina. We were talking about, is it a good team to pick to play against? I'm not so sure it is, because no matter what score you win, everyone's going to say, come on, it's Nicaragua. But Nicaragua could make it very difficult. They're going to work really hard, and then if you only win 2 or 3, everyone says it's not a good performance. So I'm never sure that these so-called easy games are actually that easy.
You and I were on the call for another CONCACAF team gearing up for the Gold Cup. Panama played against Colombia. And if you look at Panama's preparation for the Gold Cup, Brazil, Colombia, and tonight they face Uruguay. So they will be, let's say, battle ready when the Gold Cup gets underway. Nicaragua have the same expectation after taking on Argentina tonight.
Just to talk more about Messi and what Scaloni wants from this squad. There's a lot of young players, and he said, I want them to treat Messi as just one of us. Go and chat to him at breakfast. Don't see him as someone you can't approach. And I think that's what Scaloni is trying to do, is build a team that can work for each other. Not a team of, we see Di Maria there, of 1 or 2 superstars and everybody else working around them. It's a team of equals, which is difficult to say when you've got Messi in your team, but if that's what a team is to be, and if you're to work together, you've got to see Messi as just one of the other lads in the team. And if Scaloni can do that, then I think this fantastic Argentina squad have a really, really good chance in the upcoming Copa America.
Well, those are the subs for Argentina making their way through to find the bench in San Juan. And among them, we saw Paulo Dybala, Lautaro Martinez of Inter, Angel Di Maria, as you mentioned, of Paris Saint-Germain. It is a star-studded bench, including, by the way, maybe a bit of a surprise to see Nicolás Tagliafico, the Ajax left back, on the bench for Argentina today. Brilliant campaign with Ajax winning the Eredivisie and reaching the semi-finals of the Champions League.
He's done really well. It is a surprise not to see him in the starting 11, and I think the starting 11 is very likely to be the one that does start against Colombia as we get ready for the national anthems.
Well, there is the head official for this one, the Chilean Eduardo Gamboa, has the cards and the whistle. His assistants also from Chile, Claudio Rutia and Edson Cisternas, while the 4th official is Argentine. This being a friendly, they can make the exception. And Dario Herrera is the 4th referee for tonight. Estadio in San Juan, over 25,000 in attendance for the send-off for Argentina toward the Copa America.
It's a Copa America that so many Argentinians would love to win, and I know one who does in particular, and that's Sergio Agüero. And interesting enough, he says, I want to win it more for Messi than myself.
I think there might be more than just Sergio Agüero among Messi's teammates who might feel the same way. And we'll stand for the national anthem of Nicaragua. Hail to the Nicaragua. Or we will in a moment. There is Lionel Messi, and Argentina sporting their new kits today. Very own Ray Hudson got his hands on one of these signed by Lionel Messi, sent by Messi's people, and I've been trying to steal it so far with no luck.
Wow, that is a lovely shirt to get. Did it say, Dear Ray, thanks for all your wonderful commentaries when I've been at Barcelona?
There is Argentina's starting team. We see Franco Armani, fresh off of winning the Recopa Sudamericana with River Plate.
He's a good goalkeeper, big and solid, and made some impressive saves in that Recopa. And of course in Copa Libertadores as well in the final. And very impressed with Franco Armani. I think they've got a solid goalkeeper at the back there, and there's this possibility that this team we're looking at here, if Lionel Scaloni's got his math right and his positions of his players, this could be the team that gets that trophy eventually for Argentina, because it's filled with some great players besides Messi. Agüero, what a magical player he is. We've seen Celso playing for PSG and Real Betis throughout the season, Paredes at PSG, Otamendi at the back. It's a hard-working team that I think has got the ability to bring home the trophy.
Well, then Messi does wear the captain's armband and the number 10 shirt for Argentina. And just look at those eyes.
All the excitement of having one of the greatest players ever in the history of football close to you in Lionel Messi. What a privilege to play with him, I'm sure, for Argentina. And, as we mentioned, for the Nicaraguans, what a great opportunity to play against him.
And will they wait for the end of the game? And there is Sergio Agüero, fresh off winning his 4th Premier League title with Manchester City. I was wondering why our former Manchester United goalkeeper, Gary Bailey, had yet to mention Agüero's prowess.
He's a wonderful, wonderful striker. After season, and that's why with him in the side and Messi and 1 or 2 other top-class players, you think if you get the ball to him up front, if you give him service, and if you've got Messi floating around, even the Brazilian defenders will be looking there going, how do we cope with this? I think it's always been an issue for Argentina, not the strikers. It's always been midfield and defense, and I think probably more midfield. A lot of people say defensively Argentina not strong, but I haven't been creative enough from midfield. You have to provide Agüero and Messi with good ball, and that is going to be down to Celso, Rodríguez, and Paredes.
Well, here come the 2 sets of starters out of the tunnel and onto the pitch at the Bicentenario in San Juan. To your point, Gary, Lionel Scaloni himself said, "I know we have dynamite up top, pure dynamite," he said. And that is high praise for the likes of Agüero, Messi, and a star-studded bench for Argentina.
Crowd all bouncing around, having fun. And by the way, there's a couple of exceptional players for Nicaragua. Keep an eye on Juan, the captain, who walked out there wearing the number 11. 30 years of age, had a little spell in Austria. He scored 17 in 49 games. Wouldn't he love to score against Argentina?
And it is his 50th cap. And so now we stand for the national anthem of Nicaragua. Hail to thee, Nicaragua.
Hermosa la paz en tu cielo, de España, en tu gloria inmortal, que el trabajo es tu digno laurel y el honor es tu estrella triunfal, es tu estrella triunfal.
And we remain standing for the national anthem of Argentina.
Oír el ruido de rotas cadenas, del trono a la noble igualdad. Ya su trono dignísimo abrieron las provincias unidas del sur, y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino. Salud al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Sean eternos los laureles que supimos conseguir, que supimos conseguir. Coronados de gloria y vamos, oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir, oh, juremos con gloria morir.
Beautiful renditions of both national anthems as they unfurl the flag in San Juan. Well, this has been billed for Argentina as a match to, in Spanish they would say, recover the ilusión, the illusion, which really just means the hope and optimism heading into Brazil, into the Lions' Den for the very next edition of the Copa America. The expectations will be high, and the competition will be fierce. And today, the final tune-up for Argentina against the Nicaragua side, heading into their own Continental Cup, the CONCACAF Gold Cup.
And I think the coach will be looking for specific players to do specific jobs, and I'm keeping an eye on the two fullbacks, Acuña and Saravia. Can they get up and down the line? Because it's quite a narrow Argentina side, no Di Maria out wide, and I think the two fullbacks will get a great opportunity today to bomb up and down the line.
Well, that's an excellent segue, because here is the starting 11 for Lionel Scaloni, with Franco, Armani, the Libertadores and Recopa winner, in goal. The back four of Saravia, Juan Foyth of Spurs, Otamendi and Acuña make up the back four. Guido, Rodríguez, Giovani, Celso and Leandro, Paredes, the midfield trio, while Messi, Agüero and Matías Suárez of River Plate make up the attacking trio.
I'm looking for Suárez up front, really to be like the other Suárez and stop the attack starting, be the first line of defense, because you're not going to see too much of that from Messi or Agüero. And in midfield, Paredes and Celso, they have to supply Messi. They have to give him and Agüero good ball, because if you do, then you are guaranteed to get goals.
Well, big opportunity for both those two midfielders you mentioned, Celso and Paredes. Paredes, who moved during the January transfer window to Paris Saint-Germain. He's fresh off winning his first league title of his career, Ligue 1, with PSG. While Giovani Lo Celso, ex-PSG man, moved to Betis in La Liga, and boy, was he impressive for the Andalusian club.
Yeah, scored 9 goals in 32 matches, Lo Celso, from midfield. So that's what Argentina need, midfielders who can come forward and be part of the attack. So I'm excited to see how the Celso does. And Agüero league winner, Messi league winner, Paredes league winner, Otamendi league winner. Yeah, it's a team of winners. I think Racing Club as well.
Well, for so long, that's been the frustration for Argentine fans, to see their players win with their clubs and come so close, but not close enough with the national team. Today begins another opportunity to iron out those last few details before making a push for the South American Championship. There's the two captains in the middle with Juan Barrera alongside Leo Messi. And here's a look at the starting lineup for Nicaragua, the Azul y Blanco, the blue and white, with Justo Lorente in goal. Also a back four of Quijano, Copete, Montenegro, and Rosas. Puñet and Lopez in the double pivot in what appears to be a 4-2-3-1 on paper. Chavarria, Bonilla, and Juan Barrera, the captain, make up a three-man attacking midfield line behind the lone center forward, Jorge Betancourt.
As mentioned, Barrera, 17 goals in 49 games. Keep an eye on him out on the left there. On the right, you've got Chavarria, who plays his football in Iran. You've got Puñet in midfield, who plays in Iceland. So they bring a lot of experience, 30 years of age. The centre-back Copete, Rosas at left-back, 35 years of age. And there's a coach with a bit of experience.
It's a national team, but it's a bit of an international team as well. Copete and Betancourt, both born in Colombia. Montenegro in Costa Rica, and Rosas in Mexico, all led by the Costa Rican manager, Henry Duarte, who has been at the helm of Nicaraguan football since 2014, now leading them to the second Gold Cup of his tenure. Final checks for Gamboa. And the ball rolls at the Bicentenario in San Juan, Argentina. It's the Albiceleste playing their final match before the Copa America in Brazil. And they'll be hoping to end a 26-year title drought for the men's senior team. Alongside Gary Bailey, I'm Andres Cordero. Nicaragua also gearing up for a continental competition, heading to the Gold Cup for just the third time in their history, and the second in a row after a group stage exit in 2017.
Yeah, so excited for both these teams, especially Argentina, of course, because they have a real chance with Messi and Agüero up front to win that elusive trophy, but also for Nicaragua to see if they can get to that Gold Cup and maybe improve on past performances. So a nice warm-up game for both sides, and hopefully great entertainment for us.
Well, quickly back in play for Sergio Agüero, who finds Giovani Lo Celso. First touches for Guido Rodríguez, making his second Argentina start today and earning his third cap. And this could very well be the team that starts the Copa America in just about a week's time in Brazil. Here's Leandro Paredes. He's flighted into the area. The goalkeeper out to meet it. Lorente punching it away under pressure from Lo Celso.
That was a good ball played in. Lo Celso got himself a little bit free there, and Lorente doing really well. Brave goalkeeping, and punches it to safety.
First approach for Argentina via the long ball out of the midfield. Here's Otamendi. Back-to-back Premier League titles with Manchester City, and part of Argentina's spinal column, if you would. Otamendi, Messi when he's in the middle, and Sergio Agüero, Otamendi's Manchester City teammate.
And he's alongside this one Foyth from Spurs, who at 21 years of age is a really good find. A lot of people, here he is on the ball, talking him up and saying he could be one of the legendary centre-halves, and it's not his fault that ball wasn't brought in, but you know, he's got the potential, and I'm excited to see how he's going to play in this upcoming Copa America.
Bit of pressure there from Agüero, forcing the long ball from Justo Lorente, and it's out to touch for Argentina. Here is Foyth. Not afraid to get forward, the 21-year-old center back out of Estudiantes de La Plata in Argentina. Made just 15 appearances for Spurs in all competitions this season, but what a season Tottenham did have, both domestically and abroad, reaching the Champions League final. Long ball for Saravia out wide. Saravia, the lone representative from Argentine champions Racing in the 11, and he won't get to the end of that one. Good look there at Scaloni, the former assistant to Jorge Sampaoli at both Sevilla and the Argentina national team at the World Cup. He was initially named the interim coach along with Pablo Aimar, he shared that responsibility with Pablito Aimar, given that permanent status in November of last year, and now his 9th match at the helm.
Yeah, just finished playing about 4 years ago, so a very quick transition from a player of some great success, winning the league with Deportivo La Coruña in 1999-2000, and winning himself a number of caps, but already a manager, and in contrast, Henry Duarte with way more experience in this position.
Well, he was already a very experienced club manager before taking over the Nicaragua team. And Duarte back in 2014, he's been at the helm ever since. Agüero was fouled, brought down by Marlon Lopez. Quickly restarted. Here's Messi in traffic. That's poked away. Chavarria sliding into the night.
Both teams see this as a preparation match for the 2 big tournaments coming up, Gold Cup for Nicaragua and of course Copa America for Argentina, so no one's going to want to get hurt, and I'm sure there was a quiet word said in the locker room beforehand to both teams is just, you know, have fun, play the game, just don't go lunging in or coming in with late tackles. So hopefully nobody does get injured here tonight.
I agree with you, but you do have to listen to what Henry Duarte said prior to this match, in that at the national team level there are no friendlies, he said, because your national pride is at stake, and so they might have a gentleman's agreement not to injure each other at the start. Let's see
how
once you get in the heat of the moment. Here's Otamendi. Juan Foyth. First few touches for Franco Armani, who was excellent in the Copa Libertadores campaign, and perhaps even better in the Recopa against Atlético Paranaense in both legs, particularly the first.
Yeah, he's big, he's solid, he's strong, he's brave. And that's what they need. They need a good goalkeeper. Not that Sergio Romero hasn't been. He's been very good as well. But you want a player who the rest of the team can rely on. And unfortunately, Sergio's been injured quite often. And I just think this guy Armani could, if he keeps going the way he is, be there regular for many years ahead.
Otamendi almost runs into a bit of trouble. Does get it away just in time. Back to Armani. Here's Guido Rodríguez. Paredes.
As we were saying in the build-up to the game, and for those who didn't hear that build-up, it's just wondering if this is the Argentina team that's eventually going to get that elusive trophy. So many heartbreaks, so many finals, from the World Cup finals of 2014 to Copa America finals, with so much talent, and of course one of the greatest footballers of all time in Messi. Is this the time they do bring the trophy home? I think they've got a real chance, Argentina, in the upcoming Copa America.
Messi. Here's Acuña with a bit of space to deliver across. Good ball toward the back post. That's dealt with by Copete. And headed away by Marlon Lopez.
Agüero was just hovering, wasn't he? He was ready to hit that in the back of the net if the defender didn't get to it. Agüero always ready to pounce.
Clever pass by Celso. And Saravia now on the front foot. There is Sergio Agüero, and it's just wide. Well, he didn't really get a shot on. It was more of a redirect, but it was directed off target.
I think he's actually even trying to claim it might be a corner, but he does extremely well. Look at Agüero. He's going to wait, and he's going to dart towards that near post. I think it might have been a defensive block. Let's give the defender some credit here. Let's have a look. Well, either way, it's a close one, and that's why he's so dangerous. Agüero, he reads those situations brilliantly.
Raffled into the middle. That's tenacious from Matías Suárez. He managed to win the ball back for Argentina, and here they come again through Saravia. Lovely flick from Lionel Messi, and this is promising for Celso. He's just cut out by Montenegro. Costa Rican-born Nicaragua international intervenes. This, by the way, his not just first cap, but first call-up for Carlos Montenegro, and straight into the starting lineup against Argentina.
Celso doing so well from midfield, pushing forward, which we haven't seen the midfielders do often for Argentina, and I think that's ideal for Messi to try and play him through.
Messi delivers near post, punched away by Llorente. Celso. Once again, Messi. Slotted through for Matías Suárez, who tried to play it back for Lionel. It's a lovely leading pass forward as Nicaragua venture into opposition territory for the first time. Here's Barrera. Bit of space here for Josué Quijano. Brought down expertly by Betancourt, but nowhere to go as he's dispossessed immediately by Paredes.
Well, that'll do some confidence for Nicaragua there to get some possession in Argentina's half and actually have a crack at the back four. No reason why they can't do that often in this match. And really, it's about pride for Nicaragua. It's very, very difficult for them to get a draw here. It would be an incredible result if they did. But have a few shots on target to try and pressure as they're doing. Look at these blue shirts, 6 or 7, and well done. They've won possession.
Nicaragua now looking to turn defense into attack. It's Otamendi who intervenes. And that's a really poor clearance. It now forces Montenegro to scramble back in defense. Agüero. Messi, chested down, brought down Lionel, and this will be a free kick for Argentina.
Everyone holding their breath. Is Messi okay? Is he injured? And he gets up. He saw that coming. They just rode the challenge, and I think the defender tried to pull out of the challenge. As we said, they've obviously had a quiet word. Don't hurt each other, and don't hurt Messi in particular.
And that started from a failed clearance. It went the wrong direction. 10 minutes in, and this is from a long way out, but it is still within Messi's range.
Llorente not happy. He's trying to move them across. I think he's looking at Messi going, you need to be in the right position, guys, because if you're not, he's going to pick a gap and cause me some problems in goal. So goalkeeper making absolutely sure he's got his defensive wall where he wants them.
Leandro Paredes is a pretty good free kick taker himself, but he's alongside arguably the best on the planet. 4 on the wall for Llorente. Messi straight into the wall. And scrambling back goes Rodríguez to recover for Argentina.
Well, job done by Llorente and his wall, standing up to Messi. We've seen gets on the end of a free kick 25 yards out, and we've seen plenty of occasions where at Barcelona he's bent those into the top corner. So really.
Here's Franco Armani. Only his 5th cap for Armani. He's 32 years old. Only made his debut under Puñet. Marlon Lopez finds Manuel Rosas, the Guadalajara native. It's knocked down for Guido Rodríguez. Nice bit of skill from Renzo Saravia, fresh off winning the Argentine Superliga with Racing. Paredes gets it away quickly. Rodríguez finds Messi between the lines, and he's got the Celso forward. Leo Messi. Switch to the near side for Matías Suárez. Suárez looking for a bit of space, delivered to the back post, and no one there to meet it but Manuel Rosas.
Well, Celso is meant to be on that right-hand side. He came to the near post. Perhaps could have just stayed out of that and let Agüero go to the near post instead. Ball out wide from Messi to Suárez. Takes it well. Looks to come in on his right and then turns quickly. He's got the right idea to float it up to the back post, but nobody reading that. But to be fair to Chelsea, he's been the go-to player on that right-hand side for Messi on a number of occasions.
He's just thinking on paper, Argentina in a 4-3-3, but they don't play on paper, and Messi has the freedom to roam. Here's Lionel Messi. Stood forward by Celso. Messi's onside, and a poor finish from Messi. And it bounces harmlessly wide of the target, and Llorente breathes a sigh of relief.
That's a great chance there for Messi. Wonderful ball from Celso. It's going to come back to him here. Great skills. He looks for Messi, reads it perfectly. He's onside. Could Agüero, if someone just said, take your time? Because he had time to bring it down. And in fact, Messi seems to look around him to say, come on, guys, let me know what's in my surroundings. I'm watching the ball, because he could have brought it down and just slotted that home nice and easily.
Messi and Agüero were both onside on that play, and both ended up in the same area where Celso delivered a delicate pass. Giovani Lo Celso. It's a nice incisive pass. It's on target from Acuña. The left back flying forward into the area with a clever, rather easy save for Llorente.
Yep, easy save, but it shows you that he can get forward. Acuña, that was one of our questions pre-match. Can he come down that flank and add an extra man as he takes the ball there, Acuña? And of course, we were all wondering, Tagliafico, would he get the nod, the Ajax star? So Acuña needs to show that he is worthy of that spot at left back.
Player down, so Agüero will play the ball out so that since the captain Juan Barrera can get some attention on this near side.
They can never afford to lose him. He's their star player, their major goal scorer, Barrera. So he's crucial to their success. But Lo Celso, for me, has, I mean, that's a fantastic ball, but he's been involved in almost every single move since the kickoff. And really, Messi needs a shout there, and Agüero's the man to give it to him. He can see everything. Maybe that's what Scaloni's going to say afterwards. Guys, we're trying to, wrinkle out all the problems. You've got to help each other.
And Lo Celso creates that as well for Marcos Acuña. Was getting forward from that left back position. Was just mentioning it a moment ago that it is 4-3-3 on paper, but that's not the way they line up. And with Messi in a more central and free role, that does leave Saravia and Lo Celso to fill the gap in attack for Argentina, to stretch the opposition's defense on that right-hand side. Here's Armani. They'll play out through Otamendi.
Good pressing. Look at the blue shirts, 5 of them. They're having a go here in Nicaragua, 6 in fact. They're saying, okay, we'll try and make it difficult for you, which is probably what Scaloni wants. He wants the lads to get some practice playing out under pressure. And Nicaragua are providing that pressure at the moment.
It's also what Henry Duarte wants. He said prior to this game that he didn't see much value in hanging from the crossbar against Argentina, playing very deep in defense. He wanted his players to play football. And here they are playing football and winning the ball back. But only for a moment. It's Rodríguez back in possession. Lo Celso's yet to put a foot wrong. Messi. That's squirts through now for Matías Suárez. Working against Quijano. To take a deflection. And it's last touch by Sergio Agüero.
Sergio Agüero trying really hard to get into that match at the near post, trying to pick up the loose ball. Defensive errors there, allowing Suárez to get that opportunity. Look at Suárez there, working so hard to try and neck that ball. But again, good exercise, good working together. And there's Foyth at the back. Not so sure you should be doing that in defense, but he certainly is a very assured centre half, the Spurs man.
Made his debut under this manager, Scaloni, in September of last year. I think that in November, when he was just 20 years old. Former Estudiantes center back, and he does seem to have a bit of an adventurous nature. Happy to get forward in possession from that central defensive spot. Here's Acuña. Otamendi. Otamendi, who had a stellar season a couple of years back at Valencia and turned that into a move to Manchester City. It's worked out brilliantly for him with back-to-back Premier League titles under Pep Guardiola.
And he has been the main starter. There was a spell where it was John Stones who had his spot, but he seems to have worked his way back, Otamendi, and I think he's a really good centre-back. He doesn't give you any space. He's right up your back if you're a striker. He doesn't allow you to turn. And I think him, alongside this young Foyth, who's such a good centre-back, the pairing with Armani behind him, that could be as solid as rock, and that's what Argentina can perhaps build their success on.
Here come the Albiceleste with Paredes. It's a bit of a short pass from Otamendi, but cleaned up by Guido Rodríguez. It will be Rodríguez to build out of the back.
It's so important that Argentina play with confidence. Difficult because they've got this history of reaching finals and not winning them, and they've been under pressure year in and year out. Messi's had to retire a couple of times and then come back. Such was the disappointment. And of course, Messi has his own recent disappointments with getting knocked out by Liverpool for Barcelona and then losing against Valencia in Copa del Rey. So very important that this is a happy experience for all the Argentina players, and they can go into Copa America feeling positive, because that first match against Colombia is not going to be easy.
Well, Bonilla loses his footing, but not possession for Nicaragua. Some more coherent approach that time from Nicaragua, and they've won a throw deep in Argentina territory. Foyth, the defensive midfielder who was breaking through lines, getting forward. Rinse and repeat, another throw here for Nicaragua. And they may just have a corner. It will be the first corner kick of the match now for Nicaragua, as it is last touched by Argentina. Nicaragua heading into their third CONCACAF Gold Cup, their fifth CONCACAF championship altogether, predating the Gold Cup. They've yet to win a game in the competition. It's a heavy cross, and it won't reach Copete at the back post. This should be a goal kick for Armani.
It's such a pity about that cross, because there were a number of blue shirts in there. The big centre-backs were up. That's the ideal opportunity there for Giovani to try and hit one of them and maybe force the keeper into a save. But for a team ranked 129th in the world, Nicaragua, has been a very good start these first 19 or so minutes. They've done themselves proud. Look again, at least 5 or 6 blue shirts, pressurizing Argentina, making it difficult to play out of the back. So no disgrace yet for Nicaragua, and if anything, I think the crowd will start to get itchy in a few minutes if Argentina don't get a breakthrough, because they're expecting 5 or 6 goals here tonight, and if they don't start to see 1 or 2 go in the back of the net, I think they'll moans and groans, no doubt.
Well, Celso was dispossessed, tried to win it back, but put it out to touch for Nicaragua. Montenegro rolls a safe pass back to Lorente. It's a very good ball from the goalkeeper out wide. And it's recovered now by Foyth. Suddenly possession's getting shorter and shorter for Argentina, as Nicaragua is starting to feel more comfortable in San Juan.
And that's a problem, because Argentina should be dominating possession very comfortably. And you're right, they have lost a bit of control last 5 minutes.
Here's Quijano from a long way out. That was never bending toward goal. Disappointment from the captain, Juan Barrera, who was in there in support of Quijano.
He wanted a through ball, didn't he, to try and get in behind the Argentina backline. But once again, lots of blue shirts up, making it difficult. But surely Argentina can play out from the back. They have to keep possession. Yeah, we got a little bit of space for Otamendi, but it shouldn't be that difficult for them to keep that possession, which they haven't been able to do for a good 5 to 10 minutes.
Here's Rodríguez. Scooped wide. It's Saravia who has to retreat to get there. Paredes. Good pressure from Nicaragua, causing trouble for Argentina playing out of the back. Armani will take his time.
If they do push numbers up, I was about to say, go long. That's your alternative route, and knock long balls in, or on the ground anyway, to Agüero. If they push too many players up, then you play into the gaps they leave.
Paredes, more direct approach this time from the albiceleste, and Copete does enough to take that away from Sergio Agüero. Attackers on the planet.
Absolutely, that long ball made all the difference. Messi pleading his innocence, but once you play the balls behind the Nicaraguan defense, they've got to turn around, get back, and suddenly you're boxing them in their half. So that should be the approach for Argentina.
Foul whistled against Messi on that occasion. Now, there was a hint of an offside here, but the flag stayed down.
Acuña playing him on side, or he allowed him to get behind and still remain on side. That's a concern at the back. Got to make sure they don't allow players to get behind them, the Argentina back four.
Here's Matías Suárez. And he gets brought down by Foyth. Free kick awarded to Argentina. And Nicaragua effectively end the attack from the albiceleste.
It's a little bit too much time on the ball from the Argentina players. I know they might think this is an easy game, but move the ball around, get the Nicaragua players chasing it, get movement, open up gaps, find space. It's a little bit too pedestrian at the moment.
Here's Foyth. Saravia. One other thing that Eduardo said that I found interesting was, we know all about Argentina. They know virtually nothing about us. And you get the sense that so far, They're getting the game that Duarte expected, but they could be opened up here. Lo Celso trying to find Messi, and that was intercepted at the last.
It's a good combination, Lo Celso and Messi. I think they're going to work really well together. It's almost like a Busquets-Messi combination, where Busquets always seems to know where Messi is. And that's what Lo Celso does. And we said it before the game, Lo Celso and Paredes need to provide service up front. You've got two amazing strikers, of course, in Messi and Agüero, but if you don't get the ball to them, you're not going to get results from them. So that's critical for Lo Celso and to some extent Paredes.
Another excellent pass from Giovani Lo Celso. Less so from Matías Suárez. Lobbed over the top. It was intended for Sergio Agüero. Argentina played a pair of friendlies back in March. I'll tell you about those in a moment because Agüero's in possession here. Or at least he was. He did suffer that shock 3-1 loss to Venezuela in Madrid before a 1-0 win over Morocco in Tangier, in which a goal by Atletico Madrid's Ángel Correa was the difference in that one. Correa not making the Copa America squad under Scaloni.
Which is a surprise. He's such a good player, Ángel Correa. Wow, you know, to leave him out, that's a big decision. But the manager's gone with it, so these are the players who have to impress, and as yet, if you're an Argentina fan, you're probably saying, well, come on, guys, where is the action?
Nice turn by Guido Rodríguez, but he's brought down by Renato Puñet. And that will be the game's first yellow card. It's on to the number 17, Puñet.
He's broken the golden rule, hasn't he? No dangerous tackles in a pre-tournament friendly match, and he's dived in a little bit there. He didn't follow through. Fortunately, it could have been worse. But nobody wants to get injured only a week before their respective big tournaments.
Lionel Messi. Once again, it's Matías Suárez isolated on this near side.
Losing possession too easily again.
Messi again from just outside the D. First time struck as it came, and it's saved onto the woodwork. Matías Suárez denied by Llorente.
Good save from the goalkeeper. Strong right hand onto the post. Makes an excellent save. But at last we're seeing something up front from Argentina. It's taken 25 minutes to really force the keeper into a decent save.
Well, they were opened up at that time, and it was quick thinking from Matías Suárez, who went directly for goal. And it's as close as Argentina have come so far. 26 minutes in, Argentina 0, Nicaragua 0.
Here's that big press again. Can they play out? They should be able easily to play out of this sort of press. Instead they go back to the goalkeeper.
Armani surveying his options.
That's a good option from the goalkeeper. If you push too many blue shirts forward, I'll just go over the top of you and find somebody in midfield. Nice strike from the goalkeeper.
Juan Foyth. Here's Otamendi. Crowd in San Juan willing Argentina forward. That's a poor switch of play from the captain Barrera, raffled right into the middle and won by Messi. And the foul that's gone Nicaragua's way this time is Marcos Acuña, the guilty party.
There's the save again from Llorente in goals. Have a look here. It's a lovely pass from Lo Celso. Early strike. Keeper just gets a touch on it, I think, and pushes it onto the post. I'm going to give him the credit. It's a decent save there from Matías Suárez.
As we approach the 30-minute mark, all of the good things happening for Argentina are happening through the feet of Giovani Lo Celso.
He's been very impressive with Celso. And Messi needs him. Messi needs someone to do the 1-2s with, someone to get service from, and I think that's a combination we're going to see a lot more of in the Copa America. And it's a combination he's missed in previous tournaments. I think they tried Di Maria to try and get the ball to Messi, but I think he needs a really good creative midfielder, and I think they've found that in Lo Celso.
Matías Suárez is brought down there by Josué Quijano. Just a free kick awarded to Argentina. Messi. Here's Leandro Paredes. Acuña. More patient approach now from the Albiceleste. Here's Foyth. Leandro Paredes. They do have to stretch out to cover quite a bit of ground, the three central midfielders, Rodríguez, Lo Celso, and Paredes. Especially without any natural width on the right for Argentina, with Messi tucking inside. Saravia. Rodríguez. Difficult pass for Giovani Lo Celso from Renzo Saravia. Paredes finds Sergio Agüero in traffic. Here's Leo Messi on his right. Messi dancing along the edge of the 18, and he's brought down just outside of the box. And this is certainly Leo Messi territory as Marlon Lopez commits the foul.
Yeah, and the players are saying to him, you shouldn't be tackling Messi, you shouldn't be risking our great player. There's a couple of sort of stares from the Argentina player there.
Well, it's the fact that he left his feet there, Marlon Lopez, on that challenge that Argentina will take exception to.
But again, for me, you've just got to get the ball to Messi and Lo Celso every time you can, and that fluidity isn't there yet. It hasn't been in a lot of tournaments. We've seen Messi have to almost play on his own, but with Lo Celso, he's got someone who can help. You're not going to get that help from Agüero. He's your striker. He's the one you've got to get the ball to. I just want to see Lo Celso and Messi combine a lot more because it's so exciting to watch them.
So he's had one earlier free kick in order to calibrate. This will be the second attempt for Lionel Messi.
Llorente once again trying to line up his wall to make sure that they're in the right position as they were for the first Messi free kick. The goalkeeper just instructing exactly what he wants, and he'll move across to the right-hand side of the goal, and that's his side to protect. A number of times that Messi's caught goalkeepers out on their side because they try and sneak across to cover the wall. And the goalkeeper has to look after his side of the goal first and foremost before he covers the side protected by the wall.
So once again, the same combination. The right of Paredes, the left of Messi, but little doubt as to who's going to strike it. It's Messi, and again clipping the top of the wall. This will be out for a corner kick for Argentina.
Well done to Nicaragua in defense there, and the goalkeeper Llorente for lining it up perfectly. Never easy against Messi, but good block. He's done a very good defensive job first half so far, Nicaragua.
And comes off of Barrera, who jumped highest of the four on the wall and did manage to clear the danger. More danger on the way now, delivered near post. Juan Foyth attacking that near post. Argentina do win another corner kick. Same flag. Messi, a bit more air under it this time. Otamendi swings and misses. Lo Celso back into the area. It's not quite cleared. It's out to the near side for another Argentina throw.
Otamendi's got to do better than that. It's a near. Messi finds him. He gets the space on his own, but doesn't get that flick into the box.
Here's Otamendi. Juan Foyth. Otamendi closed down by Byron Bonilla. Rodríguez under pressure. Gets it away to Saravia. It's Chavarria who touches it. Last Argentina have another throw. Chavarria, by the way, the man who scored Nicaragua's only Gold Cup goal so far. It was in a 2-1 loss to Panama in the 2017 group stage.
Well, looking at them so far, after 32 minutes, I've got to say that if you're a Nicaraguan fan, you're thinking, well, we can't do any worse than the last two Gold Cups, but we can do a lot better. And 1 goal in 6 matches over 2 tournaments is not the best. But certainly they look like they could score goals and give teams a little bit of trouble. Haiti, Costa Rica and Bermuda. I reckon, I'm going to watch these games, and I reckon Nicaragua to get their first win in this Gold Cup for certain.
It was Haiti who they beat in the playoff to qualify for 2017. They've been grouped against the Haitians again. That's cleaned up at the back by Quijano to deny Matías Suárez.
And in fact, they got a good 2-2 draw in Bolivia recently, Nicaragua. That was an excellent result. So I think there's a lot of reason to be optimistic about the upcoming Gold Cup.
Controlled by Sergio Agüero. Here's Messi again from the edge of the area. Messi on his left. Still in control. He always is. Good ball movement this time from Argentina, but perhaps not the wisest decision from Leandro Paredes. Rushed his shot and skied the effort.
Yeah, not at all. When you've got Messi there and you've got Agüero, unless you've got a fantastic striker of a ball, you've got to try and find them every single time. It's frustrating for Messi because he knows that he can score if you get in the ball. This is what this preparation match is for, is to try and iron out these little creases before the first match for real against Colombia next week.
Argentina will open up against Colombia in Salvador on June 15th. They'll then take on Paraguay in Belo Horizonte 4 days later before wrapping up the group stage against the Asian champions Qatar in Porto Alegre.
By the way, Qatar's not an easy match. You quite rightly said Asian champions. They beat Japan in the final, and Japan are a decent side. So anyone who thinks this is a gimme 3 points against Qatar, you might be surprised. This is a tough group that Argentina's in.
Just over 10 minutes remain in this first half of normal time. And Nicaragua have a throw deep in Argentina territory. Here's Barrera, the captain. Copete. Montenegro, the debutant. Nicaragua played 3 matches back in March. They failed to win either of their friendlies against Bolivia or Guatemala. Lost to Guatemala, drew with Bolivia.
Away, which is not bad.
But they won the one that mattered. In between those 2 matches was a 1-0 win over Barbados in the Nations League qualifiers, and that was enough to earn a spot among the 16 teams in this now expanded CONCACAF Gold Cup. Here come Nicaragua as it's flighted in, and Armani owns his airspace but bobbles it. Not made to pay.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much height on that ball coming in there. It's not gonna find a blue shirt when you've got a keeper of Armani's size and ability. Well, you're right, he was a little bit rusty catching it, but don't think he's too bothered about that. I'm just wondering for Coach Scaloni whether he's going to make wholesale changes in the second half. Certainly we'll see changes towards the end of the match, but this might be all we're seeing of this Argentina side the first 45 minutes, and so far it hasn't been that impressive.
Rodríguez finds Messi in a pocket of space. Messi has Agüero and chooses Lo Celso wide. Working here against Manuel Rosas. It's Giovani Lo Celso. Slipped through nicely for Messi. Messi on his left, Messi into the area, Messi for the opener. It's Messi, and it's 1-0 for Argentina. Well, it had to be him. It's been a brave, disciplined performance from Nicaragua. But the Argentina captain, Lionel Messi, finds the breakthrough in his 66th international goal.
Brilliant goal as well, wasn't it? It was a mazy of a run, beaten player after player. But look, Lo Celso's the one who starts this whole process with that lovely ball. He beats 1, he beats 2, he beats 3. Agüero says, ole, I'll just stand back and let you finish it. But that pass there from Lo Celso, that's what I've been talking about. That combination between the two is electric. And when you give Messi ball inside the box, then you are going to see magic from this man. It's a great finish. Dummies, dummies. Just wonder if the keeper could have maybe got a hand to it. Llorente goes under his body. Have a look here. Not the hardest of strikes, just under him, but I'll let him off. It's Messi shooting, and they eventually are 1-0 up.
Well, fresh off winning his 6th Golden Shoe Award as the top scorer in European football. It's a record 6th. And only his 5th best goal-scoring season at Barcelona. Still scored more than a goal per game, 51 goals in 50 appearances in all competitions for Barca.
Oh, it's just phenomenal. I mean, they're crazy numbers from him and Ronaldo year in and year out. How do you score more than a goal a game? It's beyond belief.
And he might show you now. Here's Messi trying to slip that through the through ball intended for Matías Suárez. Rodríguez as well to find Lo Celso. Now it's Agüero. Absorbs the contact initially, saved at the near post, and Messi doubles the lead. Followed up Agüero's shot, and it's a brace for Lionel Messi. Argentina 2, Nicaragua 0.
Good finish there from Messi, but it all comes from Agüero, the power from the angle to force the save from the keeper. And I think it was once again Celso with the ball in. Here's the one who gets his head up. Let's have a look here as the ball gets played wide. So Celso puts his head up, he sees Agüero. Agüero, fantastic skills, gets wide. The power of the shot makes it almost impossible for Llorente to hold on to it. And Messi, here it is, there's the ball from Celso once again. Here we have our golden triangle. It's Celso, Agüero, and Messi.
Scored twice in 2 minutes. Messi breaks the dam of Nicaragua's defense. And suddenly, it looks comfortable for Argentina.
And it's come at the right time, because I think the crowd were just getting a little bit sort of agitated. And, you know, 5 minutes ago, 0-0 against Nicaragua. With all due respect to Nicaragua, the Argentina fans certainly would have expected their team to be comfortably ahead, and they weren't. And in fact, if anything, Nicaragua had a few little moments where they could cross balls into the boxes. We see good pressure there from Agüero, but now at 2-0, I think the fans can relax, the manager, the players, and we should see some great football.
Well, not the Nicaraguan defense, because here comes Agüero. Well, the expected Messi's run. And this time the number 10 didn't get there.
He's looking at him going, I thought you were going to run in the box. I thought you were going to make that extra man, as Coach Duarte looks on and wonders what to do. But I think Messi just ran out of gas there for a moment. Couldn't get into the box.
1 minute, 46 seconds between the two goals. And there could be more on the way. Once again, Agüero tried to find the run of Messi. And the offside flag was up against Argentina.
I'm just looking at Matías, Suárez, and thinking he needs to do more. He hasn't impressed so far, not yet for me. Agüero, Messi, Celso, absolutely brilliant. But the number 19 there, he's been floating around on that left-hand side. And he needs to be more involved. He needs to understand Messi better. They've tried a couple of 1-2s, they haven't come off. Do I stick with him? Do I not? Is he the right man to start against Colombia or not?
Before Messi's 2 goals, he had Argentina's best chance. Matías Suárez forcing a save from Justo Llorente, and it's one that he probably should have put away. 5 minutes to play in first half normal time. Here's Paredes. Agüero. It's tenacious from Carlos Montenegro as he takes possession back for Nicaragua.
Messi's doing some hard yards there, closing everybody down.
When Messi runs, everyone runs, and captain leading through example at the moment, but it's the Argentine defense who are being rushed here. Byron Bonilla does well to get past 2 defenders. Bonilla. Still Bonilla into the area, but fell in love with the ball and never let it go.
He's done so well to beat Acuña there, then just cross the ball. You don't have to beat him a second and a third time. Bonilla did so well there. Great bit of skill to get past Acuña. Bodies in the box and no ball eventually coming. But I think we've seen the subs there, and as I said, wouldn't surprise me if there's wholesale changes at halftime. And Scaloni might keep the same 11 until the 60th minute and then make the changes. Depends on what he's promised the players beforehand.
Well, whether it's Argentina or Barcelona, Gary, so much is made of Messi dependencia, dependence on Messi. But how do you not depend on a guy who virtually solves a difficult match for you in the span of 1 minute and 46 seconds?
Well, you depend on him, but he depends on others around him. It was Agüero's shot that forces the save that Messi picks on, and it was Lo Celso's pass to Messi before he does that, where he dummied 3 or 4 players and sticks it in the back of the net. He cannot survive on his own, Messi. He does need players around him to play to him, and I just don't know if the number 19, Matías Suárez, is the right man to play alongside Messi. I certainly hope he is for his sake.
And now Argentina. Here's Saravia. Will go Argentina's way. It's gone against Juan Barrera.
All you worry about here is injuries. I'm sure Scaloni and every Argentina fan is saying, no, please, please, you get up. Every time Messi off at half-time, Scaloni thinks, you know what, I need to get Messi off. He's done the business for me. I can't risk him getting injured.
Well, this will be service from Messi into the box. Suárez waiting at the back post. It's delivered to the near side. Dealt with by Marlon Lopez in the Nicaraguan defense.
But the Nicaraguan players are saying, you know what, we had this at 0-0, we had this under control, and bang, bang, 2 goals from Messi, and here we are 2-0 down at half-time. But they've really made a good effort here in Nicaragua. They've made Argentina work hard in this first half.
5th corner now for Argentina. Messi's delivered most of these to the near post. And this one's taken short with Agüero. Flighted in by Messi to the heart of the area. That's well attacked by Otamendi. He was challenged in the air, but easily controlled by Llorente in goal. Paredes. And Celso now working on the near side after that corner kick. Otamendi. Well, it was when Nicaragua seemed to be at their best that Messi struck with 2 quick goals in the 37th and 39th. Lopez. Rosas. It's rolled back by the captain Barrera. Here's Luis Copete. Quijano can hear the instructions from Henry Duarte as the stadium has gone eerily silent despite the 2-0 lead. He wanted touches between the defenders. He wanted a bit of possession, trying to drag Argentina out of their defensive posture.
I think the crowd want to see Messi on the ball more often and balls up front to Agüero. They want the exciting football, as any crowd would. I guess Argentina see it differently. They want to control the game. There goes Messi.
Messi leaving defenders in his wake. And a lovely ball to find Lo Celso in the box, but the offside flag is up against Giovani Lo Celso.
And even then, he still looks for Messi. He does that elbow move for Barcelona where he gets the ball, and the first thing he does, there we go, tries to find Messi. And this, in fact, this is the goal where he did find him then. So Lo Celso really is playing this role extremely well of threading balls through, looking for Messi at every single. There's the goal again. I mean, look at this. This is unbelievable how he beats 1, 2, 3. And then again, I just wonder if Llorente, the goalkeeper, he does make a good save there, though, the goalkeeper. Powerful strike from Agüero. Not much the keeper can do to hold on to that. Messi just follows up.
Well, 1 minute added on, and it's behind us now. Lionel Messi 2, Nicaragua 0. Is Argentina in control of the scoreboard thanks to their number 10. Welcome back as we head into the second half at the Estadio del Bicentenario in San Juan, Argentina. It was Messi that solved the Nicaraguan defensive puzzle after a few nervous moments for Argentina in that opening half. It took until the 25th minute to find the first shot on target. It took until the 37th and a bit of Messi magic to break the deadlock. He followed up shortly after with his second. It's goals number 66 and 67 of his international career. And we'll take a look back as Lo Celso involved. Messi dancing through the challenges, and perhaps Llorente should have reacted quicker. He could have had a hand onto it, but Messi breaks through.
He's just absolutely brilliant. Lo Celso with the pass, beats 1, beats 2, beats 3, and thumps it under the goalkeeper there. So, yeah, you know, perhaps the goalkeeper could have done better, but it's difficult. Then Agüero, here the keeper does really well, makes a great save, but just couldn't hold it apart from Agüero too much. And I mean, there was a little embarrassment there at 32, 33 minutes. I think the crowd were saying, what's going on here? 0-0 against Nicaragua, but eventually the breakthrough. But you have to give the visitors lots of credit, ranked 129th in the world. And they gave Argentina a really good first half. And Duarte, the coach, saying, I want my players to be professional. They can get the selfies after the game. And they have been very professional.
Well, and it wasn't just 10 men hanging from the crossbar around Justo Llorente. In fact, there were times when they pressed Argentina, trying to play out of the back to some success, and they seem to frustrate the Albiceleste, but cometh the hour, cometh Lionel.
Yeah, absolutely. The question is, how does everybody else work with him, which has been the question ever since he's played for Argentina. And certainly Agüero, a fantastic striker to have alongside him. Celso feeding him the ball. I want to see, assuming that they don't have wholesale changes second half, see Matías, Suárez do more on that left-hand side in terms of combining with Messi and Agüero. And even Paredes, I want to see him more involved as well, because at the end of the day, as we said at the beginning, get the ball to Messi and you're going to win games, and that's exactly how it's played out in the first half.
Well, in the event that there are wholesale changes, we'll remind you of some of the players available on the bench today for Lionel Scaloni. Nicolás Tagliafico, who could well be the starting left back, Acuña chosen today, is available off the bench. So too is Ángel Di María. Rodrigo de Paul of Udinese, Paulo Dybala of Juventus, Lautaro Martinez, who's coming off of a breakout campaign with Inter in Serie A. And a few options in defense as well as Germán Petzela, Romario Funes Mori, all available today for Argentina. Again, just 7 days away from the start of the Copa America in Brazil, and 8 days away from the start of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, which is mostly taking place in the United States, but also in Costa Rica and Kingston, Jamaica. And of course, Nicaragua will open up in Costa Rica, in San Jose, against the Ticos.
Tough match for them. Here's this Messi moment again. Beats one there, lines up the next one, beats him. I think there's one more to follow, is there? And yeah, ole, a third one. And in fact, Agüero just stands back and lets him shoot. He's already applauding. Absolutely brilliant there. But I'm looking at the subs, and you mentioned the subs. This is, we see the Agüero shot and the save and the follow-up from Messi. I think a lot of people will look at Dybala and go, what about Messi, Agüero, Dybala? Could it work? It's been tried before. Surely, you know, with a bit of a tweak here and there, Dybala can play with them. I would love to see that as a combination with Lo Celso just behind him. And I just wonder if Scaloni's going to give that a little bit of a try out here in the second half.
Well, just a reminder that Argentina will open up against Colombia on June 15th in Salvador before facing Paraguay in Belo Horizonte 4 days later, and Qatar in Porto Alegre to wrap up their action in Group B. Meanwhile, Nicaragua again facing the Ticos on the 16th in San Jose, Costa Rica. Then Haiti decided they beat in the playoff match to qualify for the 2017 edition of the Gold Cup. They'll play that match on the 20th in Frisco, Texas, before closing out against Bermuda in Harrison, New Jersey on the 24th. Otamendi is back out. It looks as though Paulo Dybala will be the game's first substitution, and he's not alone. Lautaro Martinez alongside. Paulo Dybala checks in with the number 21.
That's exciting for the fans. They've been looking forward to seeing him on, and so much talent, this young man. Just, you know, can he turn it on at international level? I certainly hope so.
He was brilliant at Palermo with Franco Vasquez, where those two alone seem to have the ability to unlock some of the best Italian defenses. Made the move to Juve in 2015, and now a teammate of Cristiano Ronaldo, the old lady, as they just wrapped up an 8th consecutive Scudetto. Really, you have to say it out loud to believe it. 8 consecutive Serie A titles for the old lady.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But that's the domination now of the big teams. I think PSG have won 7 of the last 8. Bayern Munich have probably won 7 of the last 8 as well. Man City have just clocked back-to-back titles. Barcelona have won a fair chunk, as we see Messi being rested. No surprise there.
We'll have to wait to see another edition of Messi and Dybala on the pitch at the same time, as Dybala comes on to replace Lionel Messi. Lautaro Martinez will also check in with the number 22, and just wonder if that means the end of Sergio Agüero's evening as well.
Yep, you would think so. Agüero having proved with the second goal how absolutely vital he is to the cause. Great strike. Keeper makes a good save but can't hold on to it, and up follows Messi to make it 2-0.
Well, Nicaragua will make at least one change of their own. It's Luis Galeano, who's getting ready to check in. Playmaker for Real Estelí in Nicaraguan football. He debuted under Henry Duarte back in 2015. He'll check into the match for the Azul y Blanco.
Well, not too many changes as yet. Oh, there isn't goals. There's a change for Nicaragua.
So the ball rolls in the second half. It's Argentina getting us underway, moving from left to right on your screen alongside Gary Bailey. I'm Andres Cordero. Thanks for tuning in for the first ever international match between Argentina and Nicaragua as both gear up for a continental competition in just a few days' time. Two changes for Argentina with Dybala and Lautaro Martinez checking in for the Albiceleste. Two changes on the Nicaraguan side. Brian Rodríguez steps into the goal and Luis Galeano joins the attacking midfield trio. Same back four for Argentina: Saravia, Foyth, Otamendi, and Acuña. And the ball rolls out for a Nicaragua throw.
It's an important 45 minutes for Paulo Dybala and for Lautaro Martinez as well. They need to impress. They need to show the manager, Lionel Scaloni, that they're good enough to try and start. And you get the sense that the starting 11 was the 11 that began this match. So both Dybala and Martinez on the outside looking in. And only an excellent second half will probably get them a starting berth against Colombia in just over a week's time.
Lautaro scoring 6 goals in his first half season of Serie A football with Inter. Inter qualifying for the Champions League next season. Here's Matías Suárez. The square ball is back. First touch from Martinez, and it's just deflected wide. And that would have been a brilliant start to his outing.
It's a good chance as well. It's a fantastic block by the defense. But Lautaro Martinez with a great chance to have scored, and that's what he needs to do. And Dybala, if they're to attract the manager's attention. It's a good start to the second half here, and I'm sure the crowd, with all due respect to Nicaragua, they're probably expecting plenty of goals in the second half, but I don't think it'll be that easy. The men in blue have really defended well so far.
Justo Llorente replaced by Brian Rodríguez in goal. It's an in-swinger at the near post. Nicaragua looked to play out on the ground. Nowhere to go for Byron Bonilla as he's dispossessed and turned over. Here's Martinez. Dybala. Saravia. Touchback for Foyth. Lean on his center back partner Otamendi.
Good pressure again from Nicaragua, making it difficult for Argentina. And that's what they would want Scaloni to try and test out his back four under a little bit of pressure and get them ready for the pressure they'll face when the big games begin. But again, well done Nicaragua. Really good effort.
Needs to pass back, but this could go Nicaragua's way as this has been given as a foul against Argentina.
I think that's his chance from a few minutes ago that fell to Lautaro Martinez. Let's have a look at it again. Ball in, pulled back beautifully. Just couldn't quite find his man there. Couldn't quite find the gap, rather. In fact, it's a fantastic block from the defender. Give him credit. That ball's going in the back of the net there from Martinez.
Meanwhile, it's hit away by Brian Rodríguez, who checked in goal for Nicaragua, and could be trouble. Martinez has that headed away. One or two rushed passes from Leandro Paredes today. He's given possession straight back to Nicaragua. So the changes, Luis Galeano stepped in for Chavarria on the Nicaragua side. The aforementioned Brian Rodríguez, a goalkeeper born in Costa Rica. Alajuela, naturalized Nicaraguan under Henry Duarte. This will be a throw for the Albiceleste as we take another look at this coming together with Copete here.
Oh yeah, just rakes his studs down the back of the defender's legs. Never pleasant.
Otamendi. Foyth under a bit of pressure. And he was dealt a bad hand by his teammate Otamendi. Celso. Lautaro. Is it forward for Saravia, but a bit more conviction needed from the right back who's getting forward. Once again, Giovani Lo Celso, who's been pulling the strings for midfield for Argentina. Acuña back for Otamendi. He would fire at the back, but he did it well enough.
He is. One little mistake there, and that's an embarrassing goal to give away. But as you say, they play their way out of the press.
Lautaro Martinez was looking for the run of Paulo Dybala. It's tenacious from Paredes, from Suárez to help win it back for Argentina. Dybala to the back post. And it's brought down by Matías Suárez. Recovered by Suárez. Here's Paredes. Lo Celso. Lovely ball to lead Saravia forward. Just running out of real estate. Catches the wrong side of the net.
It's a little bit too hard, that pass there from Lo Celso, but he really has been hugely influential in this game. As the coach looks on, Scaloni, he must be looking at Martinez and Dybala and thinking, do I start them? Do I start with Matías Suárez out wide on the left? For me, it's still a big question mark. Do I replace him with Dybala? Does that work with Messi there?
That's a dangerous pass into the area. Dybala chested back toward the 6. And the chance goes begging. As Marcos Acuña, who was flagged for offside.
Came a little bit high for Dybala, didn't it? Was the right idea. Acuña getting it to Dybala, he couldn't get his feet up. He had to use his chest. Have a look. Good tackle out wide. Ball comes a little bit too high for Dybala. Not much he can do unless he could have headed it in. But good pressure from Argentina. We were just saying, though, that Matías Suárez, his place is in doubt. And Lautaro Martinez and Dybala will be eyeing that left-hand slot up front for Argentina.
Here's Manuel Rosas. Byron Bonilla seems to fall over the leg of Renzo Saravia. Didn't really look to be a foul. It's given as a corner kick for Nicaragua.
Pressure for Argentina to have to deal with. Give Armani in goals, a chance to organize his defense. Go through the routine ahead of the start of the Copa America.
Delivered near post, and that's dealt with by the Argentina defense. Shot from a long way out by Marlon Lopez, and now Argentina able to break out on the counterattack. That's not in line for Dybala, but the goalkeeper, well, not in no man's land, in uncharted territory. Dybala couldn't latch onto possession.
The comedy of errors there. The keeper misses it. I think it was Quijano slips and falls on the ball, but does well to recover in the end. And from that, Nicaragua on the attack.
This is brought down by Rosas. Bonilla isolated on the near side. Long switch by Rosas. Quijano. Here's Luis Copete. Once again, Bonilla quickly swarmed on by Giovani Lo Celso. Some help from Renzo Saravia.
It still isn't fluid enough, is it? Looking at Argentina, you expect so much. By the way, good defending there, especially from Matías Suárez at the near post. But you expect so much more. Just the keeper comes out, misses it, Juan Rodríguez, and then the fullback Quijano slips, but does brilliant to recover. But you know, this is the mighty Argentina, and other than Messi's magical moments, has there been enough from them? I'm not sure, to be honest. It's for one of those, maybe expectations are too big for a friendly match, but some part of me expects the ability of the Argentinians to have Nicaragua chasing shadows, and it's not really happening as yet.
Well, they've been handed a throw in here. Giovani Lo Celso has the overlap from Saravia. Here's Otamendi. Excellent control from Lo Celso. Saravia. Slided in toward the back post, and this one's plucked out of the air by Brian Rodríguez.
Better from the goalkeeper that time. Judges it perfectly, catches it nicely. Throws the ball out wide.
It's not Rodríguez who's checked in. Rodríguez is still on the bench. That's Henry Maradiaga, who was the #2 goalkeeper tonight, who plays for Juventus of the Nicaraguan variety. Juventus Managua.
Thank you for correcting all that. So, Maradiaga then, catching the cross absolutely perfectly.
Risky ball out of the back by Otamendi. Promising now for Paulo Dybala, who's often been the furthest man forward. As Lautaro Martinez has been dropping a little bit deeper. Looks like a double switch on the cards now for Argentina. Roberto Pereira will check in, and so too Nicolás Tagliafico. So Guido Rodríguez will step out as Nicolás Tagliafico checks in. And that to me suggests that Marcos Acuña will also make way. And it's not, it's Matías Suárez. So this could change the shape of Argentina.
Paredes done really well this season, hasn't he, at Watford? Some brilliant skills, and thought he was there with a shot of maybe starting this season, Pereira. Sorry, starting this game. And he's come on as a sub, but I still think he's a good enough player to start, perhaps, as the tournament progresses, the Copa America.
A utility man who played a variety of positions during his time at Juve, where he was a central midfielder, at times a fullback, at times a winger, and a tireless engine. Here's Otamendi. Roberto Pereira lined up in central midfield. Here's Lo Celso. He's got some processor on him, Giovani Lo Celso. The speed of his decision-making, really astonishing.
Which always makes me wonder why PSG felt they had to let him go to Real Betis. So I think he's an absolutely stunning player.
He and Sergio Canales punished quite a few Spanish defenses this season. Betis got plenty of goals from that midfield.
Well, he scored nine goals for Betis from midfield, which is good going. And
16 in all competitions.
I just hope for PSG's sake they have a buyback clause.
It's actually the opposite. Betis put a purchase clause in that loan deal so that they can then, rumor has it, sell him on for a bigger fee, and there'll be no shortage of suitors. Here he is, Lo Celso. It's intercepted by Copete.
What's nice about Lo Celso is he's looking to be positive all the time. He's looking to thread balls through into danger areas. And that's what Argentina need. They have the strikers who can finish it off. They just need the supply, and Lo Celso is the man to provide that.
So Renato Puñet, the only player booked in this match, makes way as the Spanish-born Daniel Cadena steps in to replace him. Acuña dispossessed. It's tracked down by Otamendi. Approaching the hour mark. Dybala controls with his back to goal. Trying to roll it back across the split of the fence, and it was quickly dispossessed. Paredes really looked to have recovered it, but did so through a foul.
Dybala again, frustrating. Such a talented player. When the ball comes to him, tries to do too much. He's got bodies around him. Just lay it off and get it back. Instead he dribbles, loses possession. And that's part of what I think frustrates so many Argentinian fans about Dybala.
Welcome to the match, Luis Galeano, a recent substitute. It's run over by Leandro Paredes. Lovely ball to the near side for Byron Bonilla. Catapulted into the box, and it's a bit heavy for Juan Barrera, who was closely marked at that back post.
Not for the first time Nicaragua have got good position out wide and haven't got that final ball in with quality, but certainly without Messi and Agüero on the pitch, Nicaragua look a lot more comfortable. Don't have to worry about Messi running at them and dribbling 3 players and scoring as he did for the first goal. Don't have to worry about Agüero's ability to fire in great strikes as for the second.
Well, the handball given against the recently introduced Daniel Cadena, on for his 28th international cap with Nicaragua. Man born in Manzanilla, Spain. Plays in the lower leagues of Spanish football for Al-Qaeda. Here's Giovani Lo Celso. Tagliafico.
Good pressure again from those blue shirts. Look at them, they're forcing Argentina back, which is a great workout for the defense. But again, you're sort of left asking the question, well, can you not play through that sort of press?
Here's Lautaro Martinez. Celso, well, he magnetizes the ball, puts it to sleep at his feet. Slight deflection. And the shot from Martinez is deflected wide. This will be a corner kick for Argentina.
Just wondering if Dybala deflected it wide. They seem to run into each other, the two Argentinian strikers. Just hope there's no serious injury here as we take a break. But yeah, there was a moment where, let's have a look at it here. Lo Celso once again pulling the strings, looking for the opportunities. Ball comes through. There's a collision between the two Argentina players. Dybala with the block, but they get the corner nonetheless, and Dybala's going to go over and take it.
And Argentina will make their 5th substitution. It's Marcos Acuña who will make way, and coming on to replace him is Udinese's Rodrigo de Paul. It'll be his 5th international appearance for Argentina, and who debuted under this current manager, Scaloni. In swinger toward the back post. It's Martinez with his back to goal, finds an opening. Martinez, and he finds Argentina's 3rd. Well, he had a breakout campaign this season after his move to Inter, especially in Mauro Icardi's absence. And stepping off the bench for Argentina tonight, he finds the 3rd for Nicaragua.
That's a good finish, isn't it? A powerful strike with his right leg, and I just wonder if he's maybe worked himself into that starting lineup for that first match against Colombia, because he certainly is a man that you'd want in that box to turn. Look at that strike through the defender's legs. Unfortunately, it's coming at huge pace, but he's done more since he's been on in that 10 minutes than Matías Suárez did. So you've got to be tempted to maybe start him on that left-hand side alongside Agüero and Messi. Look at that, comes inside, hits it, finds the back of the net.
And for Lautaro Martinez, it's now 3 goals in 7 international matches with Argentina.
I think it's given the crowd something to enjoy. They were getting a little bit quiet there, coming up for sort of 20 minutes without being able to score against Nicaragua. So a goal there just settles the crowd down and makes these players feel that they can score even if Messi and Agüero aren't on the pitch. And that's the sort of confidence you want to create for these players who've come on the pitch. So far looking good for Argentina.
Still had a lot of work to do when he received that ball with his back to goal. Lautaro Martinez turned away from his defense. It was slack marking. This will be a throw for the Albiceleste. So Armando Golfas is checked in. He's replaced number 15, Byron Bonillas.
Golfas playing his football in Greece. And in fact, scored in his debut against Bolivia, so look forward to seeing what he can do up front for Nicaragua.
Otamendi will roll this all the way back to Armani. Raffled into the middle. It's contested well by Paulo Dybala, who helped bring it down for Argentina. Roberto Pereira. The offside flag comes up against Rodrigo de Paul. So it would not have counted even if it was on target.
Good run from De Paul, though, wasn't it? Bursting into that box and trying to get on the end of his move. It's a sort of positive attacking we need to see more of from Argentina, from their midfield. Flick on there, I'm not quite sure would have been given or not, but it's the positive moves that the coach is looking at Scaloni. He's want to see who's going to join the attack, who's going to add an extra man up front when we need the goals, and certainly De Paul looks very positive.
Showed too much of the ball to Copete that time. Pereira. Just looked a pretty solid center back, Luis Copete. Born in Ismina, Colombia. Misplaced pass from Rodrigo De Paul. Barrera lays it off.
This continues to be a very good performance from Nicaragua. They've worked hard. They've certainly closed Argentina down, and coming into this match, I guess the biggest concern for Henry Duarte was if they were on the receiving end of a hammering, and they certainly haven't been. They put up a really good fight. Look, 3-0 might sound easy, but they've given Argentina a good run-up, which is what Scaloni would have wanted, and I think Henry Duarte can be very proud of his team so far.
And Lo Celso draws the foul here against Jorge Bentancur. Hasn't really been involved in Nicaragua's attack at all. The center forward Jorge Bentancur absolutely starved of service up top. Pereira. Saravia. Here's Paulo Dybala. Flying forward is Tagliafico, but not picked out here. Leandro Paredes. Well, he's omnipresent at the moment. Dybala popping up in all sorts of places, lobbed into the area, and Copete deals with the danger. Almost a self-inflicted wound there from Marlon Lopez, sending that ball in the wrong direction.
A risky ball across the back there. It's been difficult for Nicaragua. They've been under pressure here. There's bodies all around them from Argentina, but they've done very, very well under the circumstances. Impressed with them, and really hope they have a wonderful Gold Cup campaign.
Here's Giovani Lo Celso now. A through ball threaded forward. It's poked away from Lautaro Martinez, lobbed over the top and just over the crossbar. And that would have been some goal from Rodrigo De Paul, who is looking for his first international hit.
Once again, De Paul has looked positive in so many ways since he's come on, and that will impress Scaloni. I just wonder, I'm sure a lot of Argentinian fans are looking at this and say, are we going to make our 5th Copa America final out of the last 6, which in itself would be an incredible achievement. Are they good enough? Are they good enough to win it and get their first silverware since, what, 1993? Or are they good enough just to make the final? And I'm not sure, to be 100% honest. I think if you give service to Messi and Suarez, Agüero, it would be a very, very strong possibility. If they don't get service, then I'm not so sure.
To say it's been a while. So a cross comes in toward the penalty spot. It was Galliano who was attacking it. Spilled here by Armani, but he's fouled. Armani was fouled by Jorge Bentancur. Just to drive the point a bit home, 26 years is a long time. To put that in the context, 7 of the players on the pitch for Argentina right now weren't alive yet when they won that 93 Copa America.
Yep, it has been a long, long time, but they've been in plenty of finals.
Here's Lautaro's goal earlier. Take a look at where he picks that ball up.
Fantastic turn. Looked a lot like Agüero there, didn't he? That low center of gravity, the quick turn, the strong strike. Well, it's got to have him. It's got to have Scaloni thinking, well, do I start with Lautaro Martinez and not with Matías Suarez? In the meantime, Henry Duarte looks on, and I think he's got to be reasonably proud at 3-0. It's been a very good Nicaragua performance. I don't think he could have asked for much more from his players.
Well, one way to endear yourself to your new fan base, Lautaro Martinez, who's now playing at Inter, he scored the winning goal in the Derby della Madonnina as they beat Milan 3-2. And that's the sort of performance that gets you minutes in adoration in the north of Italy.
Absolutely, it does. So still a quiet crowd. I think they're sitting here sort of not overly impressed. Obviously, Messi's goals was wonderful, and Agüero setting the second one up. But some of the fans might have expected more goals today, might have expected more domination. I think they've also got to take into account this is a pre-tournament game where you're not going to push too hard if you're an Argentina player. You're not going to lunge into tackles and risk too many injuries, and you've got to see it as really just a polishing up performance, just getting all the right people in the right places, pick up the right markers from set pieces, and get yourself ready for the opening match. And I think probably that's been achieved here tonight for Argentina.
Here's Giovani. It's clipped forward, but Otamendi into action to recover for Argentina. 20 minutes left to play, and it's 3-0 to the Albiceleste. And now looking for more. And Dybala was making a run in the middle, and that was the intended target for Rodrigo de Paul. Well defended by Nicaragua. Argentina still have Angel Di Maria available on the bench. And Romario Funes Mori of Villarreal.
I'm sure there's lots of Di Maria fans who are wondering why he didn't start the match. And has he any chance of being chosen for the opening game?
It's a considerate ball forward from Lautaro Martinez.
I think if you're Di Maria, you're probably quite upset not to at least have been playing some part in this match.
Pereira. And he tried to go through the legs of the defender Rosas, who stood his ground and gave away the corner. Just mentioned Funes Mori, and Romario will check in. He'll replace the 21-year-old Juan Foyth. It's a difficult season for Villarreal in La Liga. They flirted with relegation for much of the campaign, but did avoid the drop somewhat comfortably down the final stretch.
Still no Di Maria.
Meanwhile, Paredes measures up from the corner. Outswinger toward the penalty spot. It's still loose. And he scored a second now. Lautaro Martinez with a brace off the bench for Argentina to make it Albiceleste 4, Nicaragua 0.
What a good strike from Martinez as well. Have a look at how he hits as the ball jumps up, but he absolutely smacks it into the ground. And with a second goal, he has really put his hand up here to be part of the starting team. Ball comes in, gets flicked on. Look there, he doesn't try and control it. He hits it on as it comes up on the bounce, on the volley. It's not an easy strike, but he dispatches it and he hits it so hard the keeper's got absolutely no chance. I just wonder if he has forced the manager to pick him for the opening game. How'd you not pick someone who's just banged in 2 goals?
Well, you have to take into account the opposition of his entire international career, but keep in mind that's now 4 goals in 7 appearances for Argentina. Scoring in bunches, Lautaro. First touches for Funes Mori. Lo Celso.
Again, Lo Celso.
Everywhere, Lo Celso.
He has, hasn't he? Had a wonderful match. Really pulled the strings.
Pereira links up with Dybala. What a ball that is from Dybala. It's not necessarily a positive pass, but an accurate one. Here's Pereira. He started the action for Argentina. Clipped into the middle, and Rodrigo de Paul just unable to reach it.
Once again, Rodrigo de Paul is in that box. We've seen him 3 or 4 times in this second half. Get in there, close on the end of getting on that ball, and that's what I think Argentina often need from midfield. They need midfielders who can join and help out in attack, and he certainly is one of those.
Well, here they come again, and he's on a hat trick. Lautaro denied this time. But a corner upcoming for Argentina as Marlon Lopez puts out the fire.
I guess we have to be fair and say, look, Nicaragua are coming to the end of the game. They're probably tired. It might be easier for Lautaro to get the opportunities. It might have been tougher first half for Matías Suárez. So it has to be taken into account.
Pereira swung in toward the back post. Tagliafico was closest to it and not close enough. What a season he's had with Ajax.
Another difficult decision as Messi ponders there. The difficult decision for Scaloni at left back. Is it Acuña? Or does he pick the Ajax man? He's got some decisions still up front, I think, on that left side. Is it Matías Suárez? Is it Lautaro Martinez?
The 4 goals for Lautaro Martinez, by the way, half of his international tally here tonight, but also scored Argentina's only goal in that 3-1 loss to Venezuela back in March, and also scored against Iraq in a 4-0 win in November of last year. Right around the time that Scaloni was named the permanent manager. Quarter of an hour left of the 90 minutes. It's the kind of result that Argentina came into this match looking for.
Yeah, it's almost on as even match. You know, if you're Nicaragua, you'll take the 4-0 and say, well, it was Argentina away from home with Messi playing. And if you're Argentina, you'll say, well, 4-0's not bad. It's a comfortable win. It's one of those where everybody goes home happy, I would think. And certainly Nicaragua will have learned a lot from playing against all these superstars, and they can take that into the Gold Cup with them. And certainly they have not been disgraced here today. The way they've pressurized Argentina has been immense. And they've played really, really well. So, yeah, a match in which I think everyone will pat themselves on the back at the end.
And quickly forget all about it, because in 7 days' time is the start of the Copa America, and in 8 days, the Gold Cup.
Exactly, 100%. This is just a warm-up match, really, for both sides. But I think for 1 or 2 players, it's a chance to put their hands up and make the final 11. And again, I'm looking at Lautaro Martinez and thinking, well, I just think he might have played himself into that starting lineup.
It's a foul that's giving Argentina's way for a handball. Looked initially as though it might be against Funes Mori, but it has been given against Nicaragua.
Just looking at Agüero there. I think at 31 years of age, he must be wondering if this is one of his last opportunities to pick up silverware. Messi's 31 years of age, so is Di Maria, so is Otamendi. And there's another tournament, Copa America, next year, if I'm correct.
That's the positive for this crop of Argentina players. It's that the Copa America seems to come in pairs of late. They had the 2015 edition, followed by the 2016 Bicentenario, which included CONCACAF teams as well. And once again, they'll have back-to-back in 2019 and 2020.
The opportunities are running out for Messi and company. 31 in a couple of years' time, they're 33. This could be the last chance for all 4 of them.
No need to depress everyone.
Well, I'm trying to make it a positive that Argentina have to go out there and win silverware.
I take your meaning. Here is Leandro Paredes dropping in between the 2 central defenders. Just take a look at Lautaro Martinez's position there, dropping into the center circle to help play the ball into the final third. Pereira. His progress stopped by Rosas. That's a bit of skill from the Greek Armando Golfas. Giovani Lo Celso. He's been a joy to watch tonight, and just wonder, what were they thinking not taking him to the World Cup?
Yep, agree with you 100% there. Such a wonderful player, so many great touches, and he could be the spark for Messi and Agüero in so much of what he can provide. Lo Celso, we saw some lovely little flicks through for Messi in that first half. There's another flick as we're speaking.
So it's a good spell of possession for Argentina. It's parried by Maradiaga. Stinging hit from, I think that was Leandro Paredes who took the shot for Argentina. And he's got that sort of range on his free kicks and swung through it on the run of play as well.
Let's have a look at it from behind. Decent save from Maradiaga, as you were saying. Doesn't push it away from danger, but he certainly gets behind it and makes a good save. Talking of that, the other goalkeeper, Armani, has had nothing to do. He's probably the only one here tonight who really feels that he hasn't had a chance to prove to the manager anything, because he hasn't had a shot to save.
Well, we haven't seen Nicaraguan players take Argentine defenders on too often, and Gofas was dispossessed there by Saravia. Look how quickly Argentina get it forward into the 18 now. There's an option, and he's on a hat-trick, but it falls for Pereira instead. Beyond the reach of Lautaro Martinez, Roberto Pereira scores the 5th for Argentina, his 2nd international goal, and it's officially a rout with 10 minutes to play.
It is. It's a comfortable finish in the end from Pereira. Good ball knocked in. Look at the counter-attack, playing wide, stretching the defense, and to be fair, probably some tired legs on that Nicaragua side now, but cuts inside, sets up the ball. Thought for a moment it was the hat-trick for Martinez, and instead Pereira at the far post comes in. But I think, to be fair now, it's just some very tired legs there for Nicaragua, and there's not much they can do to stop that from happening. Lovely ball in there. They're actually queuing up in the end, aren't they?
3 players arrive, and it's the only one that was initially marked. Ends up on the end of that cross from the left. So 2 goals by Lionel Messi, 2 goals by Lautaro Martinez, and 1 from Roberto Pereira. Jorge Betancourt will make way as Francisco Flores checks in for Nicaragua. Costa Rican born, playing in the Costa Rican top flight for Santos, and on for his 3rd international appearance, the left back for Nicaragua. Nicaragua now looking for a consolation goal. Nicaragua did make Argentina work for a significant portion of that opening half, but Armani's barely been tested.
Yep, they certainly did pressurize the back four, as they're doing now. Look at the blue shirts pushing up. And it's been a good test for Argentina. They needed that. They're just dropping off now, the blue shirts, because the legs have gone. But early on, they were chasing, they were hunting Argentinian defenders down, and that forced them to be nice and tight with their passing. And that was good practice for the defense of Argentina. But you're right, they haven't actually had a shot on target. They've had a couple of crosses that, if they were a bit more accurate, could have caused some problems. But no actual shots for Armani to save.
Argentina have outshot Nicaragua 19-2. 8 on target for the Albiceleste. And 5 have found the back of the net. Now looking for a 6th through Saravia. It's an early cross, Rodrigo de Paul chasing it down. And just able to get there, the Udinese man. But last touched. Well, we'll stay with Argentina. Thought that might have come off of Tagliafico. It did not.
I think credit to both sides for putting in a good effort. I mean, yes, it's a friendly, but it's a pre-tournament friendly where you want to impress. But it is possible for some players just to sort of coast their way through. They haven't. Neither side has. Certainly Nicaragua have worked really hard to make this a game for Argentina. And look at that again, just putting pressure there on Otamendi. And from Argentina's point of view, we're still seeing players running and chasing and trying to make a big difference. So I think the crowd have got their money's worth here tonight.
Here is Otamendi. Very much a back 3 at the moment for Argentina, with Saravia, Funes Mori, and Otamendi as the 3 central defenders. Lo Celso. Long switch falls for Rodrigo de Paul. Here's Paredes. Celso always moving toward the ball, making himself available. Funes Mori.
I'm just looking at Argentina and thinking this will be their 7th clean sheet, I think, in 9 matches since the World Cup. And they're going to be a difficult team to score against.
Here's Paredes. Dybala goes down on their contact. And this will be a free kick and more. Yellow card comes out of the pocket for Daniel Cadena, as he brings down Paulo Dybala.
It's not meant to be any harsh tackle, so I hope Dybala's going to be all right. I was just talking about the defensive capabilities as we have a look at this tackle on Dybala.
Well, the only other player booked tonight was the man that Cadena replaced, Puñet, in the first half.
Yep. But if they are going to win Copa America Argentina, maybe their defensive ability not to concede goals is going to give them a chance. They'll certainly, with Messi and Agüero up front, they can score. If they don't concede, got every chance.
Well, that was very much Sabella's thinking ahead of the 2014 World Cup when Argentina switched to a 5-man defense, and they did base their strength on their defensive solidity. Not quite as defensive a posture since then, and certainly not under Scaloni, but another clean sheet with just about 4 minutes left of the 90. Here's Paulo Dybala. Well, he gets it to bounce right in front of Maradiaga. Maybe on the counter now, a chance for Nicaragua to test the gloves of Armani. It's the early cross, and look how quick Argentina got back in defense. It was Saravia who intercepts.
That's why I think Scaloni will say a big thank you to his opposite number, Henry Duarte, for Nicaragua's effort to put them under pressure, to force Argentina to come back, to practice what I would call good habits, good defensive habits. And that's because these men in blue shirts have run themselves into the ground to make themselves good opposition for Argentina. And yet at the other end, Argentina have scored enough goals to give them confidence. So I think from Scaloni's point of view, you probably tick all the boxes here tonight and head off to Copa America with a reasonable level of confidence.
Into a difficult group that includes Colombia, Paraguay, and Qatar.
Don't forget Qatar. There's a number of people who go, oh, it's just them from the Middle East that are hosting the World Cup. No, they beat Japan to win the Asia finals, and if you can beat Japan, who I think are a very decent side, then don't ever underestimate them. They can cause a few problems. I'm not saying they're going to win anything, but they'll cause a few problems.
It's Dybala. Well, Japan, by the way, also invited to play in the Copa America. It's the 2 finalists from the Asian Championship that will join the 10 South American nations. Long switch intended for Roberto Pereira on the near side. It's lapse in concentration from an exhausted Manuel Rosas. And puts it out to touch for Argentina.
Well, they were saying how excited they were, Nicaragua, to play this match. In fact, Bonilla in midfield, Byron Bonilla, saying playing against Argentina is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So I hope they've really had a great day out here in Nicaragua, and they're going to enjoy swapping those shirts with the Argentinians at the end.
Well, they'll be hoping it's not literally once in a lifetime, but it is the first time ever. And so, in that sense, 100% correct.
Well, once in their lifetime as players, I guess, to play against this level of opposition. Messi, Agüero, Dybala, Otamendi. Keep on going, Lo Celso. I mean, there's
champions of the top leagues on the planet.
Absolutely, they are.
90 minutes left, or 90 seconds left of the 90 minutes. It's a good ball out of the back to find Francisco Flores on the near side. Flores goes through the legs of Saravia. Bit of flair from the substitute, but he gets his shot wrong. Listen to the applause for Nicaragua's Francisco Flores.
That was a save from the goalkeeper there off Dybala's free kick. Just gets it to dip in front of the keeper. Maradiaga doesn't quite, he gets his body behind it, can't quite hold on to it, but he makes the save.
Here is Otamendi. He's moved into the inside now as Funes Mori slots in on the left. Trying to force the issue that time for Mario Funes Mori, and he's turned it over. This is Barrera, who's running at the middle. Appeals for a handball. It's been given. It's a penalty for Nicaragua. A handball against Nicolás Otamendi. And the captain concedes a penalty that could be a consolation goal here for Nicaragua.
You might consider it harsh, but I don't care. I just think it's wonderful for Nicaragua to get an opportunity to get a goal against the mighty Argentina. Let's have a look as he slides in. Was his arm up? Yeah, we don't have VAR, so once the referee sees it, he may as well give it. And well done, Nicaragua. Actually, you know what? To be fair, I think it is a penalty. His arm was up. And Nicaragua haven't had many attacks. This one's produced a penalty.
Fresh legs from Goalkeeper, who was sprinting at the Argentina defense. Otamendi's arm did look to be raised. And now a chance for Juan, who was unmarked at the heart of the area, waiting for a cross that never came. But he has an opportunity from 12 paces out against Franco Armani, who has not dealt with a shot on target yet tonight. Against Armani. And well, he frames the top 90. It's a perfectly taken corner, and Nicaragua have a consolation goal. Argentina 5, Nicaragua 1.
What a good penalty that was. Have a look at this. Sticks it way up high on the left-hand side of Armani and goals, who picks the right direction, but can't get close. Have a look at it from the keeper's angle there. That is a fantastic penalty, because keeper has guessed the right way, and he's thrown himself. Armani, he's covered a lot of ground. And that, in his 50th game, is Barrera's 18th goal. So, well done to the captain, and delighted to say Nicaragua have scored a goal against the mighty Argentina. And I think that actually wraps up the game perfectly.
First shot on target of the match for Nicaragua. It is from the penalty spot. And again, it is a consolation goal. And there's 3 minutes added on. We're just about halfway through. That's a minimum 3 minutes. Once again, Otamendi. Both center backs partly to blame on that goal. It was a pass from Romario Funes Mori that was sent straight at Armando Goalkeeper. That started the counterattack for Nicaragua, and then the handball by Otamendi, conceding the penalty kick.
So difficult not to, you know, what do you do with your hands if you're Otamendi? You're sliding in. Sometimes hands just leave the body automatically. The penalty rules these days don't allow you to do that, but sometimes you can't stop it. That'll be frustrating for Armani in goals. He's had no shots to save, and then he gets a penalty against him in the last minute. Not much he can do. No clean sheet, and that's why it's frustrating. Goalkeepers love to clock up the clean sheets, and that's going to be denied Armani today.
Foul whistled against Roberto Pereira. Free kick for Nicaragua. Seen some positive things from Goalkeeper coming off the bench, the Greek-born Nicaraguan international, and from Francisco Flores, who nutmegged Renzo Saravia moments ago.
Yeah, Goalkeeper is playing in Greece, and he was one of the players they picked out before the match as a danger. And I'm surprised that he wasn't picked. He plays for Orodotos.
There is the final whistle. It's 5 for Argentina, 1 for Nicaragua. The brace by Messi, a brace by Lautaro Martinez, an exclamation point from Pereira, and Juan pulled back a consolation goal from the spot. For Gary Bailey, I'm Andres Cordero. Thanks as always for joining us this international friendly on beIN Sports.